My name is Yaris Schumacher, of sound mind and body. There are 3 facts I wish to confirm to this court. 1, I am now 123 years of age, with 17 years left on my contract. 2, I make this statement under no duress. And 3, it is my deeply considered desire to terminate my contract. Let me put it into words which even you will understand. I wish to die.
This is crazy.
Does he have to be here?
As Yaris's ward, Justin has a right to be kept in the loop.
Let me just make sure I understand. Yaris invented this longevity process, and you've both had it done. So, how old are you?
I am 91.
83?
But you're not immortal.
No. We have some protection against disease, because our cells reproduce endlessly, but trauma is still lethal.
Valerie, Yaris's partner, died in a tsunami, for instance.
The question was addressed to me. So we're not immortal, no.
So my question is, if Yaris wants to die, why doesn't she just kill herself?
Well, congratulations, you've correctly identified the nub of our problem.
Don't patronize me. I don't appreciate it.
I apologize. In exchange for longevity, the patient signs a contract with the corporation, agreeing to work until the age of 130, with 50% of our earnings going to the corporation.
Suppose you die in an accident, or you're murdered or whatever.
Then our wills are still valid and our estates divided accordingly, but should we kill ourselves, the corporation inherits everything.
And Yaris has petitioned the court to be released from the contract?
Correct. We await the verdict.
This is mad. Seriously. I thought it was crazy out there with all the killings and the riots, but in here...
You could show gratitude. Without Yaris, you'd still be in the orphanage, not living in luxury while you play beekeeper.
I'm not playing. Yaris understands the importance of bees to the survival of mankind. I just think it's unjust how she can choose to help everyone, but she can't choose when to take her own life.
When you get to our age, you don't expect justice.
The contract is binding. There's no way out.
There's always a way out.
Valerie.
You frightened the life out of me.
I saw you on the security camera, Holy Mother.
I hate that. The feeling of being watched all the time.
What do you want?
I've been summoned.
I asked for Father Christopher. Who are you?
I'm Mother Mary. Father Christopher died.
Lucky man. Here. My funeral arrangements.
Father Christopher heard a rumour that if you cannot persuade the courts to release you from your contract, you may consider taking your own life. You must know the church does not condone suicide.
Considering the bequests I've made over the years, I'll expect you to make an exception. Why are you staring?
I've never met anyone who's been through the process before. You look 21. You have cheated Adrienne, yet you want to die.
I do. Since the tsunami which killed my wife and most of my family, I've reconsidered life and death. And God.
Climate change is man's work, inflicted on God's earth.
All the more reason for me to leave mankind. You may go.
I noticed your gardens. They must require a lot of water. That can't be legal.
Anything is legal when you're as rich as I am.
It said you have flowers here that cannot survive anywhere else.
They're for the bees. That will be my legacy. The saving of the bees.
Could we take a walk in the garden? Provided you're not scared of the sun.
There's no point worrying about skin cancer when you're determined to die anyway.
Little Justin, think you can come here and take my place? Dare you, little...
I'll tell her you still.
She won't believe you.
I'll tell Mr. Clive.
Clive? You won't care.
He loves her. She's his grandmother.
He's just terrified if she wins, the corporation will be bankrupted.
You're very cynical.
Oh, I've had 70 years in her service. It does that to you. When I inherit, you'll be back on the streets. And you fucking bees.
Bees are important. Without them, there's no food. How are you going to survive?
I'll do whatever I need to. I'm capable of anything.
You're a spoiled servant who's lived a life in luxury. I've seen wars, riots, the rotten world. You don't even know what survival means. It's not just an attitude. You have to plan for it. Now put those back. Now.
You know, I was married. To a man, unhappily. But I had children. You know, all of the marriage things, and when he died, I thanked God. And then I met Valerie. She was strong, ruthless. She believed in me. Helped me raise funds for my research. We were going to change the world. And then she died, and I knew real pain. True suffering that I'd never felt before in my life. It is unbearable.
Suffering is a part of life. Without suffering, how do you know what ecstasy feels like? And we have nothing to compare it with.
How old are you?
22.
You're a child.
God speaks through me, and God is older than us all.
What's your accent?
I was born in Liverpool.
What called you?
I saw my city swallowed by the sea. I wanted to bring God's balm to those in pain.
You're failing spectacularly. Since I decided to die, it's astonishing how everything is reduced to an essence of itself. Every raindrop is more like a raindrop than ever. The smell of grass is stronger than it's ever been. This is Justin. He and the bees are the future.
Justin, how do you feel about Yaris's desire to die?
It's her life. When the queen can no longer help the hive, the other bees crush her to death. In the orphanage, there was a nun. She taught me. She died. Her skin was like paper. Her hand was dry, not like yours. I asked her if she was scared, and she said, actually, she was longing for the next step.
But she let God decide.
Some things are much too important for God. Justin, please show the Reverend Mother out. I want to be alone.
You can't die. It's ridiculous, Yaris. Obscene.
It's my life.
And what about me? I'm your family. You're mine, the only family I have. I love you.
I know. You were always weak in that way.
You're healthy. A genius. With another 20 years, life and work ahead of you. The problems we face, global warming, overpopulation. There are so many areas where your genius could benefit mankind.
Really, Clive? Really? I've traveled the world. I've eaten every kind of food. I have had every form of sex. I have exhausted pleasure. There is no sensation left for me to explore. There's no music left.
But
no. Grow up. Look at me. All the riches in the world, and the most pleasure I get is sucking honey from a spoon. That was Clive.
Drinking. In a temper.
You know, everything's going to get worse if I lose this court case. If I kill myself, no one gets anything. Not Clive, not Adrienne, not the priest, not even you and the bees.
There's always a way to get what you want. You can die without Clive or the corporation stealing everything. It just depends what you're prepared to do.
Go on.
First, you must order Clive to speak to Adrienne. He must tell her you're leaving all the money to the corporation.
No, he'll be too scared. They hate each
Then
other.
all the reason.
And then what?
And then you have to do what I say.
the court has refused Yaris permission to break the contract. She'll be furious, but it's for the best. For the corporation, for you, for everyone. I'll let her know. Can you accompany me? She may be upset. Grandmama?
Look.
Will the bees return?
Justin seems confident. And with the money Yaris left, he could build 1 million hives should he want to.
And there's no doubt it was murder.
Adrienne is denying it, of course. But her fingerprints were on the knife.
And if she's convicted?
Once she leaves hospital, she'll be held in prison for life. Which, given that she'll live till 140, could be a very long time indeed.
It's time. Just wait. Now, do it now. Thank you.